Hello everyone, I'm Mimi. So today is our second tutorial on AutoGen. In the last time, we see the example for single agent chat, and this time we're going to explore the multi-agent group chat. So if you still remember, in the AutoGen, we will have LM agents or TO agents and human agents. And today, in the multi-agent group chat setting, these three agents with multiple different configuration will perform tasks collectively in a group chat. So let's start our tutorial today. So again, we still need to have the API configuration, and if you still remember, we will need to have an OAI config list in our notebook folder. And in this tutorial, we're going to use the GPT 3.5 Turbo, and you also need to list your API keys in this configuration file. Okay, so first we will read into this JSON file. And then, this is the most important part in this tutorial. That is, we need to construct our agents. So the first agent is the human agent, which is the user proxy agent. So just a quick recap here. User proxy agent is used for human or any external tool. For example, like the tool for you to execute a Python code or any kind of external tool. And for the assistant agent, this kind of agent is used for LLM. So first we need to configure our human agent, and we need to use the user proxy agent here. And the system message is just like a prompt, but now we're using user proxy agent, so this is just the notation. Okay, and in the human proxy agent, we don't need code execution, so we will set the code execution config as false. And the human input flag here, we're not explicitly writing here, but that will be default as true. So that means for the user proxy agent, we will have human input as the feedback. And then we're starting to construct multiple LM agents. The first one is the engineer. So in this task, we're going to perform a research. So when you're doing research, you will need to do like planning, or you also need to do like literature review or something like this, or someone to summarize all the literature review. So in this multi-agent setting, we're going to configure different kind of role in our research. And the first one is engineer. So system message is kind of like prompt. So we're saying that, okay, this assistant agent, this LM is an engineer, and we tell the LM to do the following task. We say that this engineer, you have to follow a plan, and you need to write code to solve task. So you can imagine that this engineer will follow a predefined plan, and it will write some Python code for tools to execute. And then we will have scientists. So what scientists to do is also follow a plan and to categorize papers after seeing the abstracts. And the important thing for the scientist is that you don't need to write code. So writing code is the task for engineer. Okay, and then we will have a planner here. The planner is will suggest a plan. So we can think of planner as the first step when we are doing research. The planner will first give a plan for the engineer and the scientist to do the following job. Okay, so and then we will have the executor. So executor is the Python or the code executor. So this is a user proxy agent. And the important thing is we will set the human input mode as never, because this is not a human agent. This is a Python executor. So here we will have code execution config, and then finally we will have a critic. So the critic in this group chat is basically doing the criticizing. So you will double check the plan and the code, and the most important thing is to provide the feedback. Okay, so now we have configured this agent settings, and we will set a group chat here. So the agents involved in this group chat will be listed here. So we can see the user proxy agent and the engineer, scientist, planner, executor, and critic. After we have setting up this group chat, we will set up a manager for this group chat. So everything will start with a manager. So yeah, we can set a group chat manager and input the group chat settings together with the GPT-4 config. Okay, now we have this agent configuration, which is the most important part in this tutorial. And then now we need to do is just to start the chat and let everything happen automatically. So to start a chat, we as a human will use the user proxy to initiate the chat. And who will we gonna send a chat with? That is the manager. So we will initiate the chat to the group manager, and the manager will manage the group to automatically start with this research. And the message we're going to pass through is to find papers on LLM applications from archive in the last week. And the task is to create a markdown table of different domains. Okay, so the only thing we need to do here is to initiate chat. And we can see the following output. Everything is automatic. We don't need to do anything on it. So because running GPT 3.5 is a little bit slow, so I won't do in real time here. Okay, so this is the results I just run, and I will show it to you now. Okay, so after we just initiate chat with the manager, so the manager, okay, so this is admin, this is us. So we will have message to the chat manager, find papers on applications, and then the manager will pass it to planner. So this is worth mentioning that this is all automatically done, so the chat manager will find the planner itself. So the chat manager knows to find the planner at first to plan the whole task. So the planner will give a complete plan on doing this research. And also it is important to see that in the plan it has already assigned each plan to different assigners. For example, like engineer will need to write the code, scientist will need to review the paper. Okay, and then after the planner has a plan, it will send it to the critic. So if you still remember, critic is to give the feedback of everything done by this group. Okay, so the critic will give a feedback, and then the okay, so because we have set the human input as true, so every time when the agent outputs something, then this system will ask human for the feedbacks. And here we don't have human input received, so the group chat will continue. So engineer will start doing the code generation, so it will write some code to execute. And as long as we see this notation like Python, then the code executor will start doing to execute this code. Okay, and here we can see that the execute finds some errors, and it will return back to the engineer. Engineer will modify their code to make the code runnable and then send it to executor again. And now the execution is successful, and you can see it generates some markdown tables. And then we have the markdown tables, and we will send it to the scientist. So scientist will give it a brief summary of this table and to organize it, and then send it to the critic at the end. And the critic will give some feedbacks, and this task is done. Okay, so this is our today's tutorial on multi-agent. So if next time you want to try yourself, the most important thing you need to do is to configure different agents and based on your requirements.